lot of officers come to my page, they ask me, why do we bait the police? Or why do we aggravate them by filming? And that's a little troubling to me because I don't understand how me recording you when you record people all day, why is that an irritant to you? I really don't understand that. And they respond with, well, it shows that you don't trust us. True, I don't. And let me tell you why I don't trust you all. Because people do what you inspect, not what you expect. That's anyone. Anyone should be monitored and filmed and recorded. Transparency is one of the greatest things our founding fathers laid out for us. First Amendment, we have a right to redress our government and on our grievances. So, yeah, I have a right to monitor you. I have a right to pay attention to what you do. I need to make sure that this does not become a police state. I need to make sure that my children also have freedoms. I have to make sure that the politicians don't take them away and don't use the police force to implement laws that will take away the rights for my children. I have to call those things out and bring them to the attention of other citizens so they can notice them as well. That's it. That's all. This officer, Alan Strickland, which was a deputy sheriff in Oakland, he filed a lawsuit against Masai Ujiri of the Toronto Raptors. Now, the situation happened on June 14, 2019. And the deputy sheriff was filing a lawsuit against Masai Ujiri. The deputy sheriff said that Masai Ujiri pushed him first. And this thing has been going on in court because the officer is trying to sue Masai. Well, today is August the 25th. And as of August the 24th, new evidence has been broadcasted out. And it shows what happened actually with video footage from the officer's body cam and with other civilians that were in the arena at that time. Now, I ask you, if this would have been you, citizens, and there was no video footage, and you went in front of a court and said to a judge, Your Honor, the officer pushed me first, and the officer said you pushed him first, who is the judge more than likely going to believe? That's a question that we all should ask. Even the police officers that come to my page that watch my videos, you should ask yourself, because you know the answer to it. You know, when it's my word against your word, you know, in a court of law, you typically win. You typically win that. I give you that. And this is why we record the police. This is why, because our words don't count in the court. And now we get to see that Deputy Sheriff Alan Strickland is a liar. That's what we get to see. And before you all say that, well, that's one officer, don't try to put us all in there with him. Then why didn't somebody else come out that watched that film and said, hey, you know what, guys? Officer Strickland is lying. You know, he pushed Messiah first. Why didn't the officers come out and say that? They watched the video. Why didn't some officer come up that had the testicular fortitude to say that? I don't know either. And so when you have bad apples in the bunch with good apples, it turns those apples that are good bad.
There is new video evidence that we are seeing this morning coming into play in a lawsuit a security guard launched last year against Raptors president Masai Ujiri. You remember that shoving match at last year's NBA match. Well, Michael Serapio is looking at all of this for us, the new video and its new meaning maybe and impact in this case.
Yeah, absolutely, because we're talking about a case in the tens of thousands of dollars US here. As you say, Heather, the security guard, really a deputy sheriff that was hired to do security at the Oracle Center in Oakland, California. Game 6, as you know, of course, the Raptors being in Golden State, huge moment for the franchise. So you saw Masai Ujiri want to make his way to the court, but was stopped. And take a look at what this new video shows up, because if you take a look to the left of the screen, that is the sheriff that was circled in red there. Coming on the right side, again now circled, is Ujiri himself making his way. And as the two approach each other, it is not Ujiri who shoves the deputy first, but you see right there, the deputy shoves Ujiri not once, but twice before Ujiri responds with a shove back of his own. In fact, if you take a close look of what happened, Ujiri was trying to get his credentials from his suit jacket to prove he had a right to be on the court to celebrate with his team. But even before he could do that, well, the deputy sheriff was already grabbing his jacket lapel, pushing him back. Take a close-up look and take a listen as well. Now, I don't know if it was very clear, but Ujiri was stating he was the president of the Toronto Raptors there. He looked incredulous that this was happening. Again, pushed not just once, but twice. And this does seemingly back up the claim that Masai Ujiri is making in a document to the California courts, because in it he says it was the sheriff's deputy, Alan Strickland, who started the incident, after which bystanders intervened, got Ujiri on the court with his team. Now, we should note, again, Strickland and his wife are suing the Raptors president for $75,000 US. They're suing for general and punitive damages. But now this video, first shared by the local Fox station in the Bay Area, so certainly people in the Oakland and San Francisco area know now this vantage point because of this body camera, and now this video also confirmed by CBC News. Heather.
What about the Raptors now, Michael? Are they reacting to the new video at all?
Well, they are standing firm. Take a look at the statement from the franchise themselves. This is what they have to say. We have always maintained that the claims made against Masai are baseless and entirely without merit. We believe this video evidence shows exactly that Masai was not an aggressor, but instead was the recipient of two very violent, unwarranted actions. So all this going on as the proceedings continue in this civil suit between the deputy sheriff and the president of the Raptors, but of course going to play a big part in the case now, and we'll keep following it, Heather.
Okay. Michael, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I said, why didn't some officer come out to the defense of Masai? And I'm not going to let you get away with, well, maybe the police didn't know, maybe they didn't, that stuff is information, maybe private, maybe they didn't know. I mean, nobody's going to take up for someone that did something bad, and the police are going to turn on their own. I want you to think about when the last time you ever heard of a policeman turning on his own. But, I don't want you to take my words on it. Here's the evidence.
Yes, much more serious note, some new video of the altercation between Raptors president Masai Ujiri and a San Francisco Bay Area sheriff's deputy was released last night. The footage is really jarring. It shows the deputy, Alan Strickland, grabbing Ujiri by the suit jacket twice, shoving him twice. This is as Masai was reaching to take out his credential to show why he wanted to join the team he was the architect of on the floor as they won the NBA Finals. Now, this video release was part of a lawsuit Ujiri filed as a countersuit against Strickland. The officer originally filed suit against him in February, alleging that Ujiri assaulted him. Now, Brian, you spoke to the Sheriff's Department back when this happened. What is your reaction to all this?
This is just so upsetting on many levels. The next day, I worked on this story. I talked to the Sheriff's Department. They had clearly seen this video. It wasn't made public till now. And they admitted to me within 12 hours of this happening that the officer had shoved Masai, which is, the fact that this was still going on for so long when they had this video is just mind-blowing. And then there's something else, Rachel, that I have a tough time dealing with and really frames my reference. I was there at that moment, not at that exact spot, but the game was ending, and you had to have a special credential to come out in the court for the trophy presentation. Rachel, I didn't have that credential, and I just walked right out on the court. Nobody said anything to me. That's upsetting.
Yeah, I'm glad the truth is finally coming out. I mean, you know, you saw it, you know, he was going to celebrate his team's victory. You know, the officer or the security guard wanted to play victim. We got it all on tape, and, you know, justice is going to be served. That's all we ask.